going to be practicing the waistline of your shorts. We're going to do this on a piece of paper. When you're doing the waistline across the top of your shorts, you're going to be making something called a casing. And the casing is basically just a tunnel that your elastic will go through. So it's going to end up being across the top of your shorts. We're going to end up making a casing, but we're going to practice it on a piece of paper first. So letter B says that with your shorts inside out, you're going to fold the waist down 1/2 inch to the wrong side of your fabric. And then you're going to crease the fabric by doing something called a finger press. All finger pressing means is that you're going to basically be creasing your fabric to make it so it's going to want to stay in place. We are going to be practicing that with our paper first. Okay, so we are going to be measuring so that we have a fold that's going to be 1/2 inch when we're done. So I am going to measure up to my 1 inch line, and I'm going to make a mark. I'm going to do this a couple of times across the top of my paper. So I have 3 marks that are at 1 inch. Now I'm going to take the top of my paper and fold it to that line, right up to it, and then when I crease it, okay, I want to make sure that it stays straight all the way across, and that I'm folding right to that line, and then I can crease my paper down like this. Now when I measure, I should end up with 1/2 inch being folded, okay, because I drew my line to 1 inch. Half of that space, when I fold it in half, ends up being 1/2 inch, and that's what I want. Okay? So now it says, keeping the 1/2 inch folded, I'm going to fold it over again 1.5 inches. So if I want my space to end up being 1.5 inches, I'm going to be measuring down 3 inches from the top. Okay, so I can measure from the top of my fold, and I'm going to measure down to my 3 inch mark, and I'm going to make a line right at 3, like this. And now I can take my folded paper and fold it down to that mark, those marks I drew, and I'm going to crease it again. Now when I measure that space, it should end up being 1.5 inches. That's what I want. Okay. Once you have it folded so that you have your 1/2 inch and then 1.5 inches, you're going to be drawing where you would put the pins. Okay. So when you were pinning this, you would have a pin that would go down and then back up again. So we're going to draw our pins like this. Across our paper to show that we would be pinning it down in place like this.